This week on K-Nation.
I developed into a whole different player.
There was a time where there wasn't much hype or anything positive much about this program.
It's a blast from Jayhawks and Wildcats past.
Sometimes I get hot. I still could do that.
44 points per game.
Got to give Lance all the credit in the world. That's a tough job. I know.
And a look to the future.
We're not going to participate. We're going to compete.
Bleed purple till I die.
It was something I had to earn. It wasn't something that was going to give in.
Fall sports are on the way.
And so is K-Nation.
K-Nation, sponsored by 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K-Nation, the countdown to football season is on. We talk one-on-one with a pair of Wildcats and a pair of Jayhawks.
Plus 11 total Hawks and Cats are getting their shot at the next level, one of which got his name called in the first round of the MLB draft.
And the 2008 Orange Bowl champ is set to be a Hall of Famer. KU's Mark Mangino recalls his favorite memory from coaching the Jayhawks.
Welcome into K-Nation. I'm Caroline Soro. He's Landon Reinhardt, and tonight we say hello to you and goodbye to a few Hawks and Cats.
Yeah, the MLB draft started earlier in the week. There's a whole bunch to get to, so we're just going to dive right on in. A bunch of guys heard their names called. We start with Kalen Culpepper, who is now tied for the highest ever selection of a K-State baseball player, number 21 overall to the Minnesota Twins. The shortstop was the MVP of the Fayetteville Regional.
And at round 3, the Mariners go with KU closer Hunter Cranton. His story is just wild, by the way. In 6 starts last year, Cranton had an ERA of 11, but his move to the bullpen left him with a 2.16 ERA and a draft selection this season.
They believed in me when it wasn't popular to do so, which, that's a huge thing to be said, especially in baseball. Massive amount of credit for even letting me come back.
Cranton struck out 38 batters this year and had only 9 walks.
Change of a 9 ERA, that's crazy.
Right?
Closer to closer, the Padres take K-State flamethrower Tyson Neighbors in round 4. He tells us he will always be a Wildcat.
If you're a high school guy or a portal guy, Kansas State's the place to be at. I'm not lying to you. So we'll see how far they can take you.
Neighbors was a consensus All-American in 2023.
And he will be missed. In round 5, Blue Jays go with K-State starter Jackson Whitworth. He seemed to always show up in the big moments. Also will be missed.
Surely did. In round 6, Phillies go with the 2023 Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Cody Shojinaga.
Hard work really pays off, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it was just a surreal feeling for my family and I.
And Shojinaga even tells us this. He had to walk on to KU after a coaching change, stuck it out. Pretty dang cool.
Wow, crazy story there, too. And in round 10, Cats infielder Brady Day also gets picked by the Phillies' 18-game hitting streak this season.
18.
Sheesh.
In round 12, Mets take KU reliever Ethan Lanthier. He was a Cape Cod All-Star last summer.
And in round 12, the Yanks take K-State outfielder Brendan Jones, who Pete Hughes calls his smartest player.
Put me in a position to succeed and become the best player that I can. I just can't say enough about the Kansas State program and kind of how they helped develop me.
Jones led the conference with 40 stolen bases this season.
Yankees may want to put him out on the base
call him
path.
A thief.
Yeah. Round 13, Phillies take KU setup man Tegan Kane with an upper 90s fastball. And fun fact, he's from Ellis, Kansas. I played against him growing up.
He probably struck you out a few times,
There's
too.
a very good chance.
KU catcher Ben Hartle goes in round 14 to the Rangers. He led the team with a .460 on-base percentage.
It's almost half his at-bats. And the final K-Nation draftee this year, KU pitcher Evan Shaw goes to the Dodgers. Coach Fitch says he has one of the best lefty sliders in the draft.
Ooh.
We go over to the UFL draft now. Former KU quarterback Jason Bean taken #1 overall in the UFL draft to the Memphis Showboats. He has been camping with the Colts.
Cool stuff there. And in round 5, the Houston Roughnecks select K-State center Hayden Gillum. This is the same league that former K-State player Adrian Martinez was just named MVP of.
Whew, we really fired through those. A lot of
quick.
outgoers this week. Let's switch gears again on to basketball. TBT, otherwise known as, it's underway in Wichita.
Yes, 64 alumni teams, including K-State's Purple Rain and KU's Mass Street, are all competing for, guess what, a $1 million prize.
It's a lot of money.
Yes, the Cats alumni played first yesterday, so we'll start there. Purple Rain ends up falling to Team Colorado 71-67, and all-time great Cat Jacob Pullen was, well, great. A team-high 17 points for the Lavender.
Come out and see the fans and give them a chance to see guys that they ain't seen in a long time. You know, it's a chance for us to reconnect the brotherhood thing and just have some fun. You know, unfortunately, it didn't go how we wanted, but like I said, I enjoy being here with my guys.
And he's already thinking about next season and trying to recruit a few more Wildcat legends to the roster.
Really cool to see him back in the purple. As for the Jayhawk alumni, Mass Street, it's an easy 81-68 win over Colorado State's Ram Up in round one. Mass Street jumped out to a double-digit lead and went on cruise control. Dedrick Lawson hit his free throws to win it, but Frank Mason, the third, was the headline. 20 points and 4 assists in his TBT debut.
It's always fun to be in front of the Jayhawk fans. You know, they're always amazing, so much energy, and they always helping us, you know, with the energy and just cheering us on. So I love playing in front of the Jayhawk Nation.
Here's the Elam ending from Dedrick Lawson, and 2-seed Mass Street gets 3-seed Florida TNT back in Wichita on Monday.
Fun stuff there. And new this week, K-State women's basketball gets Middle Tennessee State in the Bill Snyder Classic. That's in Coach's hometown of St. Joseph, Missouri. It is a neutral site game, so a loss does not hurt net rankings, but a win can help. That game's on December 14th.
You saw a video from their game against Missouri last year, which the Cats dominated in.
Yes.
Over to KU volleyball, it released its non-conference slate. Couple highlights. KU opens at Duke this year. South Carolina and Colgate will be there. Wichita State comes to Lawrence on September 4th. Then it's off to Milwaukee for matches with Marquette and Western Michigan. And to wrap up the non-con, the Jayhawk Classic hosting Tulsa, Creighton, and Purdue.
Ooh, tough slate there.
Well, next track and field head coach Travis Geppert.
K-State introduced its new track coach this week. That's Travis Geppert, who was an assistant at the winningest program in the country, Arkansas, for the past 12 seasons. He's had other coaching job offers, but said there just weren't many places he'd be willing to move his family, except Manhattan, Kansas was the opposite. A connection with football coach Chris Kleiman, competing in state-of-the-art facilities, and a draw to Manhattan sealed the deal.
I've been to Kansas State a couple times. I competed here my redshirt year in '01 indoors, and I competed here in the Thorpe Cup in '06. And so I've been to the Little Apple, and I knew it was a great place. And then as we came and explored it and talked to all the people here, you could tell that family was important, and so it's a big part of our decision.
Geppert knows he's got big shoes to fill. He's looked up to the legend Cliff Revelto for years and plans to keep the bar high at K-State.
We've only heard good things from him, and we're going to wish him the best.
Yes, he's excited.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere, folks. We are just getting started. Coming up on K-Nation, those one-on-one interviews. Plus, we check in with former dual sport Wildcat Peyton Williams.
But first, he lives all the way in Pennsylvania these days, but we tracked him down. Soon-to-be Hall of Famer Mark Mangino reflects on his time at Kansas.
Car wrecks don't just happen from 9 to 5. If you're in a wreck, we're available 24/7.
Don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. In a wreck, need a check?
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
Hi, Clay Sherwood here with Frank and Dean, the CEOs of Cute.
And they want to make sure that you live your best pool life by keeping your pool clear with Pool Life Chemicals. Let swims and sweeps keep you cool this summer.
JML Engraving Manhattan provides quality service you can count on. JML can add that personal touch to your gifts, trophies, and special occasions. JML Engraving, celebrating victories in life.
Impact the lives of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities supported by SLI. Visit slitopeka.org to donate today.
Ladyfingers Automotive. Family-owned auto repair with hands that understand your vehicle. Quality repairs done at an affordable cost. When you're in need of service, repair, or towing, remember Ladyfingers Automotive.
Hi, this is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you will be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. For 24/7 non-judgmental support, just call, text, or chat 988.
27 News, working for you.
Car wrecks don't just happen from 9 to 5. If you're in a wreck, we're available 24/7.
Don't wait until tomorrow to get the help you need now. In a wreck, need a check?
Patterson Legal is the way to go. Call 431-0000.
Welcome back in. His name's already in the KU football history books, and now he will be in the States.
Yes, longtime KU football coach Mark Mangino is a 2024 Kansas Sports Hall of Fame inductee. Now, that ceremony's not until October, but I caught up with Coach this week. He led KU to 12 wins in 2007, its most in a single season all-time, and of course the 08 Orange Bowl win, which is a core memory for many KU fans. But even
Rightfully so.
Yes, but even with those bowl wins, Coach of the Year honors, and coaching a few NFL guys, Mangino tells me his favorite part of it all was building the program.
We were able to build it up, and we were making steady progress there. And of course, everybody talks about the Orange Bowl season, which was a great season with great players, and they did so many great things. But you know, we had a lot of good players before we went to the Orange Bowl, guys that build the foundation so that those guys could have the opportunity to compete on the highest level.
6 losing seasons at KU before Mangino got there, very similar to when Lance Leipold took over in 21, and Mangino had nothing but praise and excitement for the turnaround Leipold and AD Travis Goff have put together.
What a king.
Yes.
How about this? Former K-State dual sport volleyball basketball athlete Peyton Williams was in Topeka this week to coach up some youth.
Cool.
She's back in town from playing pro ball overseas. She's off doing her own thing now. But we had to ask about this past Wildcat basketball team coming off a historic year.
Also, when you've got a star like Ayoka Lee. I mean, come on, she's a champ, right? I was gonna touch on her. Yeah, she's great. And so I think Coach Mitty, when I was there, I really loved the people who he had in place underneath him. He really created a staff that knew what they were doing. As far as I'm concerned, he's been doing a great job in building each year.
Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Peyton Williams, put her up there, surely a future Hall of Famer. She says that she regrets only getting to play with Ayoka Lee for one season, and I don't blame her because people come in just to play with her.
No, I know. You've seen a lot of people come in this year just to play with Yoki.
It's going to be exciting.
The Yoki effect.
The Yoki effect. We'll start calling it that.
Yes. Yeah. Coming up after break, those Wildcat 101s. Hear from DB Marquise Siegel and O-lineman Hadley Panzer next.
Start your journey towards a successful career in trucking with Central Plains CDL. We're Kansas certified CDL examiners who will teach you valuable career industry skills. All prep work and testing done on site. Contact Central Plains CDL today.
Our local businesses are filled with hardworking, dedicated entrepreneurs who are Kansas proud. Consider shopping these Kansas proud businesses. Businesses like Lux Wellness Studio, Squeegee Squad, and Certified Fireplace and Chimney.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Donald.
We're here at the first CBD American Shaman in Kansas. Everybody knows it's a challenge to advertise CBD in the state of Kansas. They won't even let us show you the products we sell.
None of this, none of that. Definitely not any of that. We can show you this. A lot of people enjoy the benefits of our body lotion.
We're proud to say we're the first CBD stores in Kansas. We've been trusted to help our community and provide one-on-one customer service. Go to one of our locations in Manhattan, 21st and Randolph, and North Topeka.
Some do it because they have better things to do with their time than cleaning their home's windows inside and out, downstairs and upstairs. Squeegee Squad, Squeegee Squad. Some do it because they have no business being on a ladder cleaning their own windows, gutters, and solar panels. Squeegee Squad. Even do-it-yourselfers in Topeka, Manhattan, Lawrence, and surrounding areas are doing it. Calling Squeegee Squad in Topeka. Let it shine all the time. Squeegee Squad, Squeegee Squad.
It's hard to describe the sound of Kansas. At Lewis Toyota, we know you all have different passions. Helping you get to those passions is what drives us. With over 50 years of experience, Lewis Toyota is your one-stop shop for chasing your dreams. Buy local, buy for less, buy Lewis.
Next week,
let the games begin.
Today is live in Paris as the City of Light gets ready to host the Summer Olympics. And Friday, Savannah and Hoda welcome an all-star lineup to preview the opening ceremony. Only on Today.
Welcome back into K-Nation. K-State football said goodbye to 6 of its 7 captains from last year, but there is some returning leadership.
Yes, Austin Moore is the lone survivor for those keeping score at home. Glenn Kinley caught up with a couple of Wildcats in Vegas last week, and here are those interviews.
Marquise, I'm curious how far you feel like you have come as a player in the last, let's say, 14 months.
It's just, I've grown so much just as a leader. Just my skill-wise, speed-wise, strength-wise, everything's just got, I developed into a whole different player.
You talk about growing as a person and as a leader. We didn't see you out there for that first game last year, and then from there, now you're one of the leaders selected to go to this event. How much do you feel like you've matured, and also what does it mean that they selected you to really represent the team here?
Just like you said, that maturity. Last year, when I first got there, I was still thinking I was a new guy just because everything was new, just like I was a freshman. So stepping up that mentality, just like I have experience, I did all this before, so changing my mindset, and then ever since then, it's just each week it got better, and I looked at it as a leader where they could trust.
As you take on more of a leadership role, what are some of those things that you're preaching to the guys around you in the defensive back room?
Just don't settle in the position you're in right now. Believe in yourself, believe in your ability, and keep working.
How much have you learned about leadership from Van Malone?
Huge. He's everybody who you look up to. You want to be him.
What are those characteristics, or like what does he do on a day-to-day basis? Because we hear from him here and there, but we don't see it like you see it.
He's just a person you can come to anytime about anything. He's just that, he builds that open relationship and that trust. And when you have that trust, you can just, sky's the limit when you have somebody that can believe in you and then you have that trust together.
Kleiman was talking about how maybe you had an opportunity to see some of the guys before you, like Rusty East, Julius Brents, who maybe made a role transition and it worked out and got him to that next level. Do you feel like you're a guy who can play on Sundays someday? And how much, I guess, did seeing them before you motivate you to do that?
Most definitely, I feel like I can play on Sundays. And just seeing them is just seeing what they did to the provide to the team. My goal is to make it to the NFL, but I'm here to help the team. So my mindset is shying away from the NFL and just worried about the team.
Yeah, absolutely. What's an area of your game that you take a lot of pride in?
I'll just say being physical, being that tough guy. When he's hurt, he's going to work through it. When you need somebody that's going to step up in that big role, he's going to do it.
Awesome. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right, Hadley, one thing everybody talking about leading into the 2024 season, you guys lost some really, really good offensive linemen.
Yes, sir.
I think you'd agree, though, that you guys returned some guys that are proven at the Big 12 level. What's your confidence level in that group to really not just be okay, but be really good like you guys were last year?
Yeah, I think just try to keep the message the same, is that losing a lot of guys, you lose Cooper and Hayden and Duff and KT and stuff, but you don't have to be the next, I don't have to be the next Cooper Beebe.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the next KT or Duff or Hayden or whatnot. We just have to go out there and be the best versions of ourselves. Once it comes time to the season stuff, then we'll find out what we're made of.
How big of a change or adjustment has it been to have your position coach now coaching the entire offense? Have you still gotten to spend plenty of time with Connor Riley, and what's that look like?
Yeah, and I'll say this, that as far as just Coach Riley being the OC doesn't change anything from him. He's going to show up and be the same person every single day. It's on us as leaders in the offensive line that whenever he is gone, we're maximizing our time and that there is no slack in it. We're still rolling without him.
You're here with a bunch of Kansas kids and you play with even more Kansas kids. What does that mean to you, not only to have Kansas kids on your team, but to see this new staff, who maybe didn't have a ton of Kansas ties when they got here, continue to make that a priority?
I think it's huge. You look at, Austin Moore and Avery, being in-state Kansas guys, and it's just a testament to the kind of players that we have in Kansas. People maybe overlooked us, and kind of look at what we're doing now. We're not perfect by any means, or we're not at the top yet, but that's what we're working for.
I want to hear you talk about Avery Johnson and how he has kind of taken the reins of this offense as a guy who's still one of the youngest guys in the room.
Right. I think, the biggest thing people want to see and are curious about is if he can throw the ball. And obviously we've seen from the Texas Tech game that he can run it, and in the bowl game, I don't think we allowed him to as an offensive line, we allowed him to reach his potential as far as throwing the ball down the field. I think there's always something better that we can do up front. So I think this year is let him sit in there in the pocket, protect him, build that pocket for him so he can deliver the ball down to our playmakers.
Have you seen it in practice, though? I mean, you can attest probably as well. He has the arm.
Oh, yeah, he's got the arm. Yeah, people will see that for sure.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right, shout out Coach Bamberg down at Lakin High School, Hadley's hometown. Used to coach my high school. Don't go anywhere. More fun is on the way. One-on-ones with KU's Devin Neal and Jeremy Robinson. That's next.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you build a foundation for your college career, like transferable credits offered in your high school, earning your high school diploma through GED completion on our campus. Breakthrough to a new career. Manhattan Tech, providing higher education.
Play It Again Sports is your golf headquarters. Come try out a new driver or iron set in our new indoor T-Turf driving cage. We offer a full range of new and used golf equipment from Cleveland, Strixon, Wilson Staff, Proline, and more. No matter your skill set, you'll find everything that you need to take your game to the next level for less. Bring in your quality used gear to save even more by trading in and trading up or get cash on the spot. We are buying all day, every day. Play It Again Sports, 21st and Fairlawn in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
For the past 20 years, this community has trusted our in-house crews to install floors all across the area, and we thank you. For the best craftsmanship and overall value, thank Topeka's premier flooring and onyx dealer, Capital City Flooring, where fine quality and service matter most.
After a car accident, everyone in Topeka knows who to call and how. Just ask around.
Devon James wins. 888-8888.
They do right by people, and they care about Kansas.
Devon James wins. 888-8888.
That's who I'd call.
Thank you, Topeka,
for making Devon James your choice of law firms.
Devon James wins. Call 888-8888. Everyone in Topeka knows Devon James wins.
For 42 years, we've been helping people love their home. Right now, you can save 42% on our patented polymer siding and polymer windows. Lick.
Inside Edition.
These are the stories that impact your life.
Manhattan Area Technical College will help you break through to a high-paying career by empowering you in high-demand fields. Let Manhattan Tech help you break through to a new career. Manhattan Area Technical College, providing higher education.
Welcome back to K-Nation. We just showed you the Wildcats, but let's talk Hawks now. We'll show you one guy who definitely one that could break out.
Yeah, you definitely know the real deal, Devin Neal, the hometown running back, but be on the lookout for senior defensive end Jeremy Robinson. Here's Glenn.
What excites you about being here and about I know you're counting down the days to kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, just representing our program in the right light. It's always awesome to me to, give a glimpse into our program and what it's about because, obviously there was a time where there wasn't much hype or anything positive much about this program. And so to be able to be out here and have so much enthusiasm to talk to us and get some insight about our program means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to our team as well.
How much more interest is there in KU football at this media days compared to, let's go back 2 years, even from the national media? Probably a few more people know who you are and who Jalen Daniels is and so on.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a few more people know who we are, know what our program's about, and there's more hype around it. And, that obviously comes with challenges and, expectations and pressures as well. So we accept those. Pretty cool, though, that we got to this point that we earned, more recognition as a program. And, now we're not the team that's just, everyone sees them on the schedule and it's automatic W for them. Now we're the team that's, contending for a Big 12 championship this year. So,
Devin, as you enter your final year, what is it that you're hoping to maybe accomplish or show that you can do more of?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I want to be faster, more breakaways. But at the end of the day, it's hard to find what that specific thing is now going into year 4, 3 years under my belt. But I'm always asking questions on what I can do and improve, and those type of situations are going to come more about when we're actually practicing with pads on and, especially adapting to a new offense. I think it's going to suit us way better, especially as running backs. So I'm really excited, to build on last year, and, I'm always working to find out what's next for me. So
I'm sure you were a little bit bummed that last year you won't play in your hometown of Lawrence. But also, I mean, playing in the stadium for the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, probably not complaining about that. What's your mindset, I guess, for that change?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it home. It's a little sad you can't play in the booth, especially you play there for 3 years. You can't finish it out there. But, I'm a devoted Chiefs fan. I've always been my whole life, so playing in that stadium is going to be pretty cool. And, hopefully Patrick Mahomes and those guys come out and see the games. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like a fanboy, but I don't really care.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan, so that'll be really
Taylor
cool.
Swift at a KU game this year, maybe.
Listen, I'm not a Swiftie.
but you could be
it
convinced.
Would be pretty cool. I might be convinced.
All right, sweet. Devin, we appreciate your time. Good luck this fall.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Jeremy, I'm going to be honest. Everybody knows about Devin Neal. He's been here for a couple of years. Everybody knows about Jalen Daniels. I don't feel like we know as much about you. What should Jayhawk fans or even Big 12 football fans know about Jeremy Robinson?
Yeah, what's up, y'all? I'm Jeremy Robinson. I play defensive end for the University of Kansas. I like to play hard, I like to play fast.
What's a piece of your game that you take a lot of pride in or that you feel like you've been working on a lot this offseason?
I've been working on a lot of my pass rush moves, keeping my intensity high, very high, and doing that all the time.
Yeah. How much have the defensive ends before you, we talked about Austin Booker, but also there's a number of other guys, right? Lonnie Phelps, those guys, how much have they kind of set the example of what can be done at that position at the University of Kansas?
No, they've set a tremendous example. Both of them guys, they're hard workers, they're fast, they're twitchy, and I'm still watching their film just to take little pieces and add it to my repertoire.
How night and day is the difference between fan support and between obviously facilities now and a number of different things that the University of Kansas is just in a completely different spot than it was certainly when they recruited you, probably even your freshman and sophomore year.
It's so night and day. When Coach Leipold got in here, he said, we're going to win here and we're going to do what it takes, and he hasn't lied to us yet.
What was it about Coach Leipold that made you trust him and made you know that he wasn't just a recruiting pitch?
Yeah, we had some closed door conversations. We talked a lot about some good stuff we can do here, what it means, how loyal am I. I thought to myself, I'm very loyal. I love it in Lawrence.
You're from Alabama, so you've seen like the epitome of college football, right? How close is KU to being right up there with the best programs in the nation as far as what you guys are doing and also the progress you're making on the field?
Yeah, I think we're close. I think we're real close. I also think that we have to abide by what our standard is and let the chips lay where they're going to be at.
We're going to see some new faces on your offensive line this year. Who's been standing out up there? Who's been maybe giving you a hard time?
Yeah, our new guy from Texas A&M, Bryce. He's looking good. He's looking physical. He's looking like he's going to be a problem.
Remember the name Jeremy Robinson. I really think he can break out this year.
Oh, yeah, big energy guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, stay with us. We've got more K-Nation after the break.
Is that me?
Nope, it's me, your fireplace. Creosote buildup in my flue can not only be smelly, but it can also be dangerous and cause damage.
Now's the time to have your chimney inspected and cleaned. Call Certified Fireplace and Chimney today.
JML Engraving Manhattan provides quality service you can count on. JML can add that personal touch to your gifts, trophies, and special occasions. JML Engraving, celebrating victories in life.
It's Vanderbilt's anniversary sale, going on now through July 21st. Celebrate huge savings with our buy one, get one 50% off sale. Mix and match boots, apparel. Everything is buy one, get one 50% off. Hurry in for the best selection of boots including Justin, Wolverine, Ariat, and more. Stock up on jeans, shirts, and more. Everything buy one, get one 50% off. Anniversary sale, going on now through July 21st.
Work Boots Center, Vanderbilt.
Need to refresh your deck? Get an 11% rebate on the whole project at Menards. And add the finishing touch with your 11% rebate. How will you spend your rebate?
Save big money at Menards.
On the next Fox 43 AM Live, don't miss the fun happening at Artisanal Gallery. Plus, we're joined by our latest special guest of the week, musical artist T-Rel. Join us Monday morning at 9.
What are you guys most excited for this summer?
Playing golf at the beaches. When your chimney decides to join the dinner party uninvited, call Certified Fireplace and Chimney. We're the experts in chimney repairs and replacements. Don't wait for a brick to crash your next gathering. Call now.
All right, some bittersweet news to send you off. For the first time in K-Nation history, we will be off the next few weeks.
Yeah, NBC's Olympic coverage will be on the next 3 Sunday nights, so we apologize for not getting up on air, but we'll be back and ready to go August 18th for the start of Year 3 of K-Nation.
Year 3, thanks for tuning in. See you August 18th.
Have a great night.
I'm just a football coach who tried to give my very best every day.
I knew that, probably, again, based on his experience, he was a guy that we probably should try to do everything we can to get him.
I appreciate Frank for coming. Frank made it way easier.